Hello and welcome to TSG Foundation's Wisdom of the Zodiac. Today's lesson and meditation is taken from Wisdom of the Zodiac, Volume 2 by Torkom Saraydarian, Chapter 40, titled Virgo, Developing Your Senses. In today's lesson and meditation, we will learn how the wisdom of the Zodiac gives us the insights with which to build and to continue building our bridge to our higher self. Before we proceed with today's lesson, I would like to read a passage for us from the book titled Atma Vidya, Uncovering the Mystery of the Self. This is a fantastic and deeply esoteric reading for anyone who is truly on the path of discovering what is your self and what is your not self, what is your soul, your inner true essence, what is the personality. This is a must-have book for you if you want that deep, esoteric, and philosophical tradition that tells you the truth about who you are. Okay, so let me read from that first passage, page 15. The self is written with a capital S, is the presence in the human of that from whom all things proceed, to whom all things return. This is a quote from the Gayatri. Look how profound that is. It is the presence in you that goes to the essence, comes back from the essence. In the Vedas, there is a magnificent diamond that shines among all other precious stones. It says, and we quote, "The knowledge of the soul is stated to be the most excellent among all of them, for that is the first of all sciences, because immortality is gained through that." Immortality is gained by knowing and exercising and externalizing the true self that you are. This is why we do this monthly study and meditation of the wisdom of the Zodiac, so we can build that bridge and we identify where we are going before we build that bridge. We're going from one place to the other. What is that other that we are going toward? This tells us that our foremost duty is to actualize our human soul, the real self. And you will see shortly how that fits into this lesson for Virgo. So open your book, Volume 2, Wisdom of the Zodiac, to Chapter 40. My book starts on page 459. Yours might be one page later or one page before, depending on the edition. So let's look at that chapter and see what is the topic that it is trying to teach us. First, it is going to talk about the soul, the human soul being born or giving birth to our soul. What is the human soul? Let me describe what that is from the years of study and research that I have done and learned. The human soul is called, first of all, the spark with a big S, the spark that falls into manifestation from the same divine origin. So our sparks, all of us, are from the same divine origin. We are related to each other from our origin. So first, we are the spark that falls into manifestation, and we are called a spark. We are not souls yet. So in this definition, the human soul is called a human soul when we actually live by the standards of our soul. If we are not living by the standards of our soul, by the qualities of our soul, then we cannot say we are souls. We have the spark in us, but we are not yet fully fledged human souls. So first we start as a spark, and we go through the multiple kingdoms, mineral, vegetable, animal. And in the human kingdom, we start identifying as sparks with our first physical body, then with our emotional body, then with our mind and our thoughts. At this stage in the Ageless Wisdom teaching, we are called physical ego, emotional ego, mental ego, or personality, because we are still focused in those three worlds, in those three bodies. So we are not yet a human soul, but we are becoming a developing, growing human soul. Not yet fully functioning, but we have glimpses of our standards, our values, our true inner essence. We see glimpses of that in our life. The more you see your true essence manifesting in your life, the more you can call yourself a soul with a small s, human soul. So this is very important for us, because what are we doing as we build the bridge from the mundane personality to the higher self? We are that process, that bridging process is the process with which you build your human soul. Okay, so keep that in your mind, that the process that you are involved in your spiritual striving, whether you are reading, meditating, discussing, participating, doing any of your spiritual work, or you are actualizing and manifesting and expressing your inner virtues at your work, at your daily routines. You see, you don't have to be just studying spirituality to be manifesting your soul, but your soul, you as a human soul, can manifest yourself in every part of your life. And that is the goal for us, to become the true self that manifests truthfully in everything that we do. Does that make sense to you? It's really beautiful. And when I think of that, I really get an inner charge on where it is that I'm going to manifest my true essence. Now, in this chapter, we also have another topic that's discussed, and that is the topic of the solar angel. What is the solar angel? The solar angel is not the same as the human soul. Many people confuse those two. Human soul is you, your essence, identified as a soul as you are manifesting your inner essence, okay? The solar angel is an initiate who is assigned to you as a parent, as a guardian angel who guides you through your life, life after life. And what does the solar angel do? Guides you, protects you, gives you impressions, tries to talk to you so that you respond. And the more we hear our solar angel and respond to it, what are we doing? We are building that bridge. And as we build that bridge, the solar angel slowly recedes and we take over our entire life. That's a beautiful story, and that's the story that's given in the Ageless Wisdom teachings. So let's read some of the material in that first page, second paragraph. Torkom writes, "Today I will talk about the Virgo energy and relate it to the human psychology. Virgo energy has major characteristics." Okay, look at how important this is. Remember the path that we've been on. How are we building that bridge? Okay, it develops and nourishes the human soul. So Virgo energy, the full moon of Virgo, nourishes, protects, shields, and lets you grow as a human soul. If you are sensitive to these energies, for the 3 days of the full moon, 3 days or 5 days, 2 days before, 2 days after, 1 day before, 1 day after, you choose the intensity with which you want to observe the full moon. You will feel your real self is trying to make an effort to come into being, into existence. So at this time, when you start feeling a little bugged, a little worried, a little pondering, and little reflective in yourself, and you're asking, what is myself? I build a lighted house, I try to reorient myself. I need to get in touch with who I truly am so that I can really put that into actualization. This is the full moon for you. It is going to give you the energy to keep on that path and keep having that beautiful picture of who you are come into actualization. The energy, the music, the color of Virgo provides those conditions in which the human soul develops. Wow. So this is the workbook. This is the workbook of the year so that your human soul gets established. Because why? As you establish your human soul and you establish its presence and your radiation in your life, everything around you will start shifting. Everything, your attitude will shift. Your health and outlook will shift. Your relationships will shift. Your entire feeling and thought life will change. You will see. Because why? It is the soul guided by the solar angel that's making the difference. Okay? Let's look at the next page. Actually, our solar angel lives in the intuitional plane. That's the first paragraph. The intuitional plane is the nourishment for the human soul. Okay, so the intuitional plane is the Christ consciousness, the consciousness that impresses the human soul toward beauty and goodness and righteousness, joy and freedom. We receive enlightenment. Every time we contact our intuitional plane, we receive enlightenment. If these occasions increase, the sense within us that leads us toward light eventually increases. Okay? For example, the flowers turn toward the light in the early morning. This is the Christ consciousness, the intuitional light within us. Let me define that a little bit more. Our solar angel is in the intuitional plane. What is that plane? It is the plane of oneness, of unity, of really realizing we are all God in essence, that we are rejoicing in our humanity in all kingdoms. We are one with the sun, we are one with the stars, and so on. You remember that, and you say that I am really not separate. I am one with the whole universe. That's a huge inner consciousness that develops on the intuitional plane. And that is exactly the consciousness that your solar angel is trying to instill in you through your meditations, your observations, and your everyday existence, trying to sound that note for you. And why is that important? It is because on the lower planes, it's all about us. It's my opinion, my thoughts, my ideas, my way of doing things. But when we rise above that mental plane or emotional desires or physical needs and addictions, what do? We become one with the universe. We see the truth and the light, and all of a sudden we know what steps to take. We are enlightened beings. So you can see that the solar angel is pulling us from our personality life into our soul life. And our soul life really exists in those higher planes. Okay? In this process of Virgo, in order to develop that bridge that takes us to our soul consciousness, our higher self, we go through the development of many senses. Torkom discusses here multiple senses, and altogether, this chapter gives you 12 senses that you develop as a result of this path of giving birth to yourself. Let's look at a few of them for today's lesson. I will discuss 5 senses so that you can use each one on one of the days of the full moon, 2 days before and 2 days after. And I'm going to give it in order for you. The first sense that you can meditate on is the sense of direction. That is given on page 461. It is really important for you to know where you are going. And I've said this many, many times. In all these books, it says, know where you are going. Know what you want to do. So it's important that you have that sense of direction and where your life is leading you. Am I going in the right place given what I am doing now? If you are not in the right place, then how you got there is important. So if you want to be somewhere different, you have to put in place the steps that you have to take you to that different place. Okay, we don't end up where we are out of accident. We got there through our feet, through our thoughts, through our actions and decisions. So the first meditation keynote is, how do I develop a sense of direction? There's plenty of information here, and you are going to really think about that and ask, where do I want to go? So that I really go as a soul. You can say, I want to go as a personality. No, bring it all together. As a soul, where do I want to go? So develop that sense of direction in you. Use that as your first day meditation seed thought. The second one, I'm going to skip to the sense of freedom. The sense of freedom is important because you are going to look at yourself and say, where are the things that keep me from being free? Okay? Is it the old memories? Is it the old stories? Is it my habits? Is it my pretenses, my illusions, my glamours? These are all pretenses that we must look at because they cloud our emotions. Glamours cloud our emotions. Illusions cloud our mind. Habits, physical habits, cloud our physical sense of true beingness. So you can see that that sense of freedom is really important. So you ask yourself on the second day, where do I need to be free? From what? And be really brave. For example, when we do the joy and healing courses, people are so surprised when they find out how much joy is available for them, yet they do not allow themselves the freedom to find joy, the freedom to find release. So you can see how important it is. It's a huge topic. You can spend months and years on that topic alone, but for this one, we are going to do it for one day. Now, on the third day, the day of the full moon, I chose the sense of immortality. I love that, and it's very important for me to think of the sense of immortality, that there is something in the future. There's this continuity of consciousness. There is mastery. The solar angel is already in the higher worlds and urging us to come forward and go through that bridge. Do you see how important it is? So you are going to think, what is the way that I can develop the sense of immortality? Let me read that for you because it is powerful. The soul develops the sense of immortality. You no longer doubt what will happen to you when you pass away. This kind of illusion and ignorance disappears from your mind. Look how easy life will be for us, how easy transitions will be for us, our decisions will be, because we will always decide on what is the best for our continuity, now and always in the future. Even if you don't have any outside proofs or philosophy, psychology, or religion, you feel inside that you are really immortal. This sense registers the fact of immortality in the universe. It is such an important thing to do, because with this sense, you remove the hold that fear has in you. You remove the hold of the current situation in your life, that it has a hold on you. You release yourself. You say, that no longer has to define me. That no longer can have a hold on me. It is powerful. What is the fourth sense that we will develop and meditate on during this full moon period is a sense of goodness. You cannot get to the bottom of goodness. Beauty, goodness, righteousness. Remember, that is the mantra that Torkom always focused on, and the great ones always focus on. Goodness. When you develop the sense of goodness within you, you start feeling every life form. You become a relative of each life form. You learn how to handle them in such a way that promotes in them a small birth toward the soul, toward their destination, toward their future becomingness. Just like you treat your little newborn child. Goodness. Goodness for everything. You want goodness for that child. Food, nurture, holding close to your heart. Now you expand that. You start developing goodness toward every life form. And that is such a release, such a comfort for you when you are able to do that. Discover what goodness means in your life and how you manifest it on day 4 of the meditation. Now, what is the last day? I love this topic, the sense of oneness and unity. Wow. Can you imagine what a powerful meditation it is on the last day of the full moon observation, when you meditate on the sense of oneness and unity, and you ask yourself, I would ask myself, how do I feel and act and think and behave and speak in the sense of oneness and unity, that nothing toxic comes out of you, nothing separative comes out of you, because you have meditated on the sense of immortality, freedom from toxicity. You are now able to unite in oneness and unity. Let me read this beautiful quote that is given in italics at the bottom of page 463 that follows the 7th sense that is given in this chapter. Whenever you are losing your sense of unity and are acting under the force of separatism, okay, keep this in mind, you are becoming a cause of pain and suffering, and eventually you are entering into matter and darkness. So look, why are people suffering so much in the world? Because of this very same thing that they are not doing. They are not becoming one and unified in themselves and with others around them. So it always starts with yourself. Define yourself in a oneness and unity. And then when you are acting out of separatism and becoming a cause for pain and misery for other people, how much pain and suffering is that bringing to you? So in the development of these 5 senses in your meditation, You are on the path of developing the bridge to your higher self, your human soul, the essence that you are, and you are meeting your solar angel at the end of that bridge. What a beautiful image that is, that you can contemplate in your mind, draw it, write about it, and say, what is it that I need to do so that I cross that bridge and I meet my solar angel face to face? That would be unbelievable. So Torkom gives these 7 senses that you develop, and then he adds 5 more values. And these are together 12 that you can choose to meditate on. If you do only 5 days, then choose any one that you like. You can use the ones that I gave and stay with it so that we're all together meditating on the same keynote. But if you want to continue, choose any of the other ones before or after the full moon period and use each one as a seed thought. You will not be sorry for doing that because they are really, really beautiful. Look at this: comprehension, divine vision, intuition, idealism, healing. These are beautiful seed thoughts. So let me summarize this keynote. This keynote of this chapter is Virgo, developing your senses. You are going to develop these 12 senses that are a path to becoming a human soul. Okay, it's a path to becoming your true self. Your true self and human soul is the same. 2 words for the same thing. So in order to become fully functioning as a human soul, you must develop these 12 senses to some degree. At least 30, 40, 50%, and then you have the tipping point. And you will see more and more in your life. You will define your life. You will express your life more with these senses and less with a personality. Then you can start saying, I am a developing, growing, expanding human soul. Beautiful. So you are going to try to actualize each of these in your life. And we are going to choose 5 keynotes. And I have chosen for us if you want to do it. The first one is what? The sense of direction. Instead of aimlessness, you are going to have a direct direction. See, so many people think I'll do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of that. What happens when you do that? You do not create and develop deep roots. Deep roots. This is what you want to do in order to be stable and become your true self. So the second one is a sense of freedom. Freedom versus addiction. Freedom to decide your own fate, your own life. Okay. Number 3, the day of the full moon is a sense of immortality. I love that. This is versus being stuck to the past. We don't want to be stuck to the past. We keep doing the same thing. We cannot expect new results. So we are going to free ourselves from the past, take the best and the most joyful from it, and move it forward with us. Because the most joyful and the best in our past is the soul in us. So we're going to take that forward. And number 4, the sense of goodness versus harmfulness, versus separatism, versus hatred. Okay, you're going to see how you're going to increase that sense of goodness. And number 5, the sense of oneness and unity versus separatism, narrow idealism, narrow self-identity. You are the true self, and so is everyone else. Okay? Now let's look at that beautiful page 471, which is right before the meditation. And he says, for example, you must discard your past image of yourself. If your past image of yourself is not working for you anymore, you can change it. If it's working for you and it's beautiful and you're going forward in positive steps, then enhance it. Okay, what you have been in the past, throw it away, because if you are stuck to that image, it will be difficult for you to carry it to the new birth. So Virgo is a sign of the mother of the world. Who is our mother? Our solar angel is our mother, and it is helping us to give birth to our true self, our human soul, through helping us to develop these 12 senses. It's profound and beautiful. And what else can we do that's more important than giving birth to our soul, to our true self, and relating with our spouses as true souls, with our co-workers as true souls, with the whole world. Seeing life through the soul is a profound experience, and really make the change in your life that you so much want. Okay, now let's do the meditation. Meditation is beautiful, simple, but can be very powerful if you really focus on each of the full moon seed thoughts that I have given, or you may choose your own. So we are going to now relax and close our eyes, put a nice smile on our face, and we will say the great invocation with a beautiful rhythm and with visualization. So if you can visualize light pouring in through God, love pouring in through Christ, the willpower that's pouring in through the hierarchy, through the great masters of wisdom, and then all of the planetary human beings banding together to seal the door where evil dwells. Look what changes we can make with this powerful mantra. So gather yourself and think of your brothers and sisters everywhere in the world together saying this beautiful, great invocation. Okay, close your eyes and I will lead us. Take a deep breath, and with each breath, integrate yourself physically, emotionally, mentally. Let us do that 3 times. And number 4, deep breath, and align yourself with your solar angel, the one holding you in his or her heart forever. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. Keep your focus. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. Let us say one Om together. Keeping your focus, meditate on how close are we to that glorious state of consciousness in which we will penetrate into the intuitional plane and take a new birth, and what are the things that we must leave behind. First, think about developing your sense of direction instead of aimlessness. Think of 5 things you need to leave behind so you have a greater sense of direction. Now think of 5 things that you need to do to increase your sense of direction to your higher self. What do you need to do? This is an important step. As you develop your seed thought, the next step will be, how do I achieve those 5 steps? Take a few minutes to think through the 5 steps that you need to take in order to increase your focus of direction. Let us say this beautiful mantra, which to me indicates the bridge through which we will travel. Repeat after me. Lead us, O Lord, from darkness to light, from the unreal to the real, from death to immortality, from chaos to beauty. Let us say 3 ohms, loud or silent. So in this lesson, we learned a little bit about what is the human soul, what is the solar angel, and how do we cross that path toward our solar angel's values in the intuitional plane. I mentioned 5 senses that you can develop, and there are 12 that are given in this chapter. You may use 5 or 10 or 12, it's up to you. Go ahead and organize them and use this meditation process to get you to understand the sense that you have chosen to focus on. I wish you great growth, great expansion, and the utilization of the wisdom of the zodiac every month to build that bridge to our higher self, our Atma Vidya, our true self. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.